If we look at the different ways to approach international negotiation in the library or through different studies, we can see that there are like two different tendencies to approach an international negotiator. Two like different schools of thought, two different lines of learning to become a good negotiator. The first line of thought is the one that considers that before you meet a negotiator from another country, you should know a lot about the characteristics of this country. Characteristics in the sense of labels used to describe that country. Labels in terms of the personal behavior of the people, if they are punctual, if they are casual, if they use the family values, also values regarding or labels regarding business behavior. They answer the phone fast, they speak frivolous things before they end they go to the topic of the negotiation. Those are labels. So the first line of thought when it comes to getting yourself ready to become a negotiator is the one that says that you go to that country previously having done your research, your homework, and analyzing the characteristics of this country, the labels and the topics. The second line of thought, which I believe is much more accurate, that's more precise, basically says that the topics of the countries are just indicators, but they are not really relevant when it comes to negotiations, because none of us is like pure from any culture or pure product of a country. Every one of us is a puzzle of identities, is a puzzle of different things. A man negotiates in a way that might be similar to the way a woman negotiates. And a Spaniard might be as punctual as it is, as if it was from another country, and would be as late as if it was from a country that is supposed to be arriving early all the time, even though a person from that country is not arriving on time. So in a way, what we can say is that we are a puzzle of identities, a puzzle of things, and a puzzle is what it really will encounter when we face a negotiation in another country. So let's summarize. One group of thought in the way of negotiation is the one that establishes that cultures are block civilizations, and the second is that the second way of negotiating is that we are puzzles of identities, and what we have to do is find out which is the common ground that we have with the person that we are going to negotiate, independently or almost irrelevantly from the country that comes from. Almost, because there are things that are interesting to know, to be more polite or more effective, but they are never the main issues to make your negotiation a successful one. So we have to say also that nowadays mainly we found people that is in the group of civilizations, clash of civilizations group, I would call it. You only have to look at the web pages and click by countries, and then you will have there an array of topics from that country that supposedly you are about to learn before you establish a negotiation with that country or with persons from that country. If you go to the library again, what you can find there is books on instructing you how to do business with Spain, how to do business with Germany, how to do business with China. Basically, from my point of view, these books are full of topics that might even guide you in the wrong way when you negotiate in that country. Some of them might be interesting to know, but just as an indicator. Careful the approach of analyzing countries by topics, because we end up creating myths and creating blocks, and the blocks, if you don't know well the other block, the block crashes with the blocks. So in a way, by taking that approach, I think is a dangerous approach, because the blocks crash at the end, and yes, the block crash because we have created blocks where there were no such a thing. Instead, the approach of puzzle of identities, I think, is much more accurate. You only have to look at yourself to see how pure you become, how pure you belong to an identity, a precise identity. And I think that with a little objective approach, you will end up realizing that we are a puzzle of identities. We have our personality is made up by many things, and not necessarily only one, that is the country where you are born. So looking at approaching the others, trying to find out which are the things that we have in common, is much more effective, and at the same time less dangerous than analyzing the cultures as blocks, because at the end the blocks, if you accept that theory, the blocks crash.